Hi everybody, it's Nikki, and I'm here to make another video that I hope is helpful, but is my personal experience, my personal everything, not to be used as medical advice. Okay, and you know I'm excited when I am fresh off of the exercise trail, and like this, because I am excited. So I know that I have a couple minutes till family members get home, and because I'm weird, I still don't like making videos in front of them, so I'm going to hurry up and do this, and then try to pretend like I didn't. Okay, anyway. Alright, I know I'm making videos about calibration factor. I know they've been up and down because I have been, but I'm getting really close, and I feel like this is another context video. It's another kind of warming people up to something, and there aren't very many viewers. But I feel like this is building up to something really, really nice. So I am really excited about it, and it's why I'm sitting here right now, almost trembling. It's another update. I am now in manual mode around the clock, with the exception of about between 12 a.m. and about 4:30 a.m. That's when I let auto mode take over. Then I get out of it at 4:30 a.m. because I have figured out that auto mode sends me high in the morning if I sit. Most mornings I don't sit, so I haven't really seen that effect on a lot of mornings because I've done my insulin and my coffee, you know, whatever. I'm working on all those things. But the last couple mornings I've been sitting because I've been doing other things, helping my kid with the science fair project, you know, whatever. So it's been an unusual morning, and I've watched my sugars really, really soar. So it has made me set my alarm for 4:30 in the morning and get out of auto and let myself stabilize before I get into my morning coffee so I can avoid those big highs. Okay, I'm not here to talk about my morning coffee. I am here to tell you, and that's a rise that I wanted. That's my thing saying that I'm going up, but that's what I wanted, and it's a little bit of a delay. That's okay. All right, this is what I'd like to say. I have decided that I am using this, and I'm going to refer to it from now on as the C-factor method, because that's what it is. I'm using my calibration factor in order to make blood sugar management decisions. So I'm calling it the C-factor method. That's official. Go ahead and put a stamp on it. Youth-free viewers. Just kidding. Kind of. Okay, so yes, I am still building up, but I think it's really to something good. I covered that. I know I did not invent the calibration factor. I know I did not discover what the ISIG holds. As I said in my last video, that is what our sensors are. The ISIG is the raw data, and that's what gives us a number on our sensor. It's also what auto mode was trying to do, which was to figure out whether or not our interstitial fluid was a good predictor of what our blood glucose was going to do. And they were trying to kind of stay one step ahead of it. And have the pump doing stuff for us because they could see which way we were going to move before we actually started to move there. Great idea, but they have a delay that they can't really get past. Again, I am not a scientist, and I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty comfortable saying these things now, that there's a delay that they know about, and they try to cut it back a little bit, and they do encourage behaviors that keep your blood sugars more stable, because that's where you're going to do really well with something like auto mode, and even with having an accurate SG. So I didn't invent the calibration factor. I did not discover the magic in the ISIG. I understand that is what these things are doing. And now when I'm trying to work with my calibration factor, what's really funny is I feel bad for auto mode. I'm like, you got your work cut out for you when it comes to my blood sugars, because when I'm just going about my business, I'm fluctuating like crazy. And no wonder auto mode can't keep up with me. I mean, I do like this, and this thing is trying to give me the right amount of insulin and then stop it all day long. And it's a recipe for disaster. Every now and then it works really well. So there's that part too. And I know there's people who love it, and I think that's awesome for you. I did not love it, and it is a recipe for disaster most of the time for me. Okay. So none of these things are new, but I have never had a doctor tell me that I could look up a calibration factor or use an ISIG, or that there was any other information available other than the stagnant blood sugar value. That's the only number I've ever known about, and that number is enshrouded in mystery. I'm a 100. Is that great? Is that crashing? Am I about to hit, you know, a 450 because I've eaten a 6-pack of donuts? Am I, you know, which isn't common, you know, but you get the point. It's this number, but it's you know, it's just not a great number by itself. So what am I doing right now? I am exploring a custom fit blood sugar management strategy. I sound like an advertisement, but I swear I am not that. I'm not that. And I don't care if anybody does this. I'm sharing this thing that I'm coming across because it's really, really cool, and I like it, and it's kind of fun to explore it. There have been good days, there have been bad days, but most of my bad days, part of the day or all of the day, was spent in auto, and it took me a couple days to realize I was trying to do this thing with auto mode in the background, and that was not. It's just not a sound experiment. So now I'm out of auto, and I feel like I'm doing what auto's doing, and I'm doing really, really well. As of 2 o'clock this afternoon, whatever it is. Tonight I'll be on the floor crying. Okay. So how is it different? Well, this is a custom fit management. Like, instead of just saying, I'm going to do 15 grams of carbs and wait 15 minutes, I'm watching my calibration factor. I'm deciding right now, what do I need to do? Do I need to bring that up? Do I need to bring it down? I'm starting to look at my calibration factor as a thermostat and my blood sugar as the temperature. So, you have to make adjustments here in order to adjust that. Do I need to bump it up a little bit because I want it to be a little bit higher? Do I need to bring it down? I really only have 2 options to bring it down. That is, increase the insulin or get up and move. But those are 2 great tools, and they actually work really well under most circumstances. So I have some tools on either side. Now I'm trying to tweak it. And how is this different from just looking at a blood sugar? What I am learning is, by the minute, I'm learning that this calibration factor, this value, this C factor, whatever it is equally as important as my blood sugar. Having one without the other is half of the information. And because I'm beginning to really understand what my factor means, I'm beginning to be able to make really good decisions at the moment, rather than saying, okay, I have to do this because I'm afraid I'm going to have this happen in 30 minutes. Well, I can do this now and watch it over the next 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and to see then how good was that choice and tweak it then. It's a way to kind of narrow my range and stay a little bit more stable. And the cool thing is, I know it's not fake. 1, because as I said, it's what these machines are running off of. But 2, because my SGs are hanging in really, really well. So now I can actually look at my SG on a regular basis and say, that's probably a good number, and that's probably where I am. And when I have a suspicion that I've begun to move, then I can look at it and say, and that's probably a delay. And I can even guess it's probably a 30-point delay, because I know my blood sugar is probably really rising right now, whatever it is. Okay, speaking of which, I do need to go do my insulin. I set my timer, and that was 7 minutes ago, and that's going to make a difference. Okay. This calibration factor does not cancel out the importance of the blood glucose value, obviously, but it kind of gently nudges it to the side. It's just making room for a new bit of information, and really, really important information. So now, instead of responding solely to a stagnant number, I am considering my potential. My calibration factor is my concentration. And so now, when I have a blood sugar of a 165, which used to be all the information I had, I might say, okay, I can have my coffee. I'll do my insulin. I'll have my coffee. But then I didn't understand what happened and why I'm at a 220. Now I understand my blood sugar is at a 165. But my calibration factor is at a 6.7. So my glucose concentration is higher. It's not a good time to have a coffee. It's going to push me over. Do the insulin, bring that calibration factor back down a little bit, and then sip your coffee. So start the insulin now, and in 15 minutes start the coffee. It's making all the difference to my blood sugars, which is the goal. Why can't auto mode do this? There's a 9-minute video. Why can't auto mode do this? Because of a known delay. They know about the delay. They've known about the delay for 20 years. They've known about all this for 20 years. It's just the first time I knew about it. Maybe you all know about it. I'm just getting here. So... but that's not the only reason why auto mode can't do it. The number one reason is the delay. I have a current BG at my fingertips. No pun intended. I couldn't resist. Okay. So, and auto mode doesn't have that. They have a delay. It can be anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, really. They said they can even see a 40-minute delay depending on how fast a person's blood sugar is moving. So there's a serious delay in there. And now you have a machine making decisions based on it. That's a problem. I don't have that. I have a current BG. The second one is I have access to my environmental clues. Auto mode has no idea if I'm sitting on my butt right now, or if I'm running out the door, or if I'm on the floor crying, because there's been a lot of that, whatever, it has no idea. It can't factor that in, but I can. And I can figure out when I'm looking to stabilize my calibration factor again, I can say what things are at play and do I need more. I have a flow chart. I am so excited. And as I said, maybe it will only work for 4 days and then maybe I'll fall flat on my face. It's possible, but it's working really well today. And I'm starting to see big pockets of where it's working really well. And it's a wide open thing. The third main advantage is also that I am making these decisions. This is the custom fit based on my disease. I don't have to do this for the entire diabetic population. They do. When they make their sensors and they try to calculate what this is going to, they're looking at the average. In fact, I think they're looking at, as my mom says, a sleeping man about 175 pounds and, who's in, weekend war, whatever, right? Like they're not considering me and they're not considering many of us because we're not in their studies. But this one's considering me. This is what it's all about. Okay. Thank you for watching. My family will be here. It's 11:11 time. Have a great day. Bye.